you're here, but I'm glad you are, because tonight we have not 1 but 2 weeks of Big Brother to go over, or really just 1 week if you're a fan of the show, I guess. Technically 2 though. We can keep it at that for now. But welcome everyone. We are here to go over not only the resurrection of Cam from last week, but also the eviction of one Nicole tonight, who we saw go home, and we saw, of all people, Bowie Jane winning the head of household competition at the end of tonight's episode, leading into a week full of unknowns, much like a lot of the other weeks that we have had in this Big Brother house. But one thing is for sure, we are going to attempt to talk about anything and everything that is the last 2 weeks of Big Brother 25 here on this podcast. My name is Barrett. Welcome, everyone. We are live. The chat is open. If you are here for the first time, please chat away, ask your questions. Do anything... I don't know, say things to Zack that he doesn't like, and then compliment Nick is the only other things that I could say if you're a first-time watcher of this podcast. But welcome if you're here for the first time, and if you're watching after the fact, welcome as well. Comment anything you may want to say to me, Zack, or Nick, or about the show in general. But I am not alone on this venture. As I just said, I am here with 2 people that I have not seen in, probably 27 minutes. These Zack Perez and Nick City. Zack, I'm going to come to you first before we get to this week and all the action that ensued. I want to talk a little bit about last week, a week that you particularly enjoyed, the resurrection week. We had Jared and Cameron, who were both evicted in the double eviction, come back in the house in a scary verse twist as zombies, as they lived out their days in the Big Brother house, leading up to an ultimate Caitlyn Herman redemption competition at the end of the week, where we saw Cameron win and come back in the house. Of course, we had a whole slew of competitions leading up to that, where Cameron beat Jared in order to get to that competition. But I want to know, what did you think of our weird no week of Big Brother? And are you happy that we probably won't talk about it after whatever rant you're about to make?
It was pointless. It was a week of fucking nothing. Literally, the only way I can explain it is a bye week. That doesn't matter. It's a bye week in the playoffs. Think about it like that.
The fact that I understand that.
You're trying to prepare for whichever person is going to be there, but ultimately one of those scenarios isn't going to matter. So why? They didn't give us one episode. Nothing really happened that week. Like, spoiler alert, nothing really happened until Thursday. It was just, they have to play 3 competitions and best out of 3 wins. And it was one of those seesaw, like from BB16 and multiple other seasons, but still, it was ugh. And they had to play a survivor game where they had to get the 2 handles and put it up a dead body thing. It just didn't matter. If you think about it, that double, if it would have ended the way that it did, the 2 competition pieces going out back to back, that would have been top tier, like double evictions, as in results.
Yeah. That is definitely the most sinful thing that came out of that week, is that we had a great double eviction in terms of if you're part of the fandom, obviously you want Cameron and Jared out of this game. If you are a live feed watcher, those are the 2 people you're like, get them out, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And that's exactly what we got. Very rarely, especially in a double eviction, do we get exactly what we want. And the fact that they then in turn not only put them immediately back in the house, but now Cameron is back in the game, I think is an ultimate sin. The fact that we have 2 people still in this game that have been evicted from the game that are still in it, and not only that, are in jury now, are 2 of the votes that either one of them might win the game or be in contention to win, or 2 of them are going to decide who wins the game. I think that's really weird. And I don't enjoy that for this season. But I agree. I'm glad it's over, Zack. We don't have to deal with it again. We don't ever have to talk about it again, or the scary verse itself, at least in terms of the zombies. But I will say it did give us this DR, which I think, Zack, you probably loved.
From walking away with this victory. Not too many people get an opportunity to come back into this game. Not only have you not seen the last of me, you're going to see a whole lot more of me. Daddy is determined and driven to win this competition.
Now, how do you feel about that? It's okay.
You can take your time.
Oh, he left. All right. That seems about correct. I guess that will end our talk on the Resurrection Week unless it comes up in any other form of natural conversation.
Okay.
I'll add Zack back after I ask you your question, Nick, so he can stew on that for just a little bit longer and think about Cameron calling himself daddy. So Nick, now that we have passed Resurrection Week, we had a actual week of Big Brother where we saw Cameron not only come back into the game, but immediately win HOH and win the veto competition, and ultimately having a flipped vote at the last second or last day, 2 days, whatever you want to call it, to go from Felicia leaving the house to Nicole leaving the house. Felicia has now been saved by a vote flip 2 times this season. So what did you think about this week, and how do you feel about Mimi leaving the house? And I'll add Zack back as you talk.
Okay, so I'm actually very content with all of this. I feel like that's kind of the opposite opinion that I've seen from a lot of people, but I love Felicia, and to me she's like the most entertaining person this whole season, and I love that she's now stayed twice by a vote flip. And I do feel bad for Mimi because I actually do like Mimi a lot as well, but like I don't know, it just seemed like she got evicted for like no reason either, like just for like sitting next to Felicia is like why she ended up leaving. It was very weird. And like I was even watching the episode today, and like she's leaving and she still doesn't have an edit. I thought it was just weird the whole way it went down, but I'm happy with everything. So
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I feel like we can just talk about Mimi as a player. This is kind of like our in memoriam section for her, I guess. But like I really did have such high hopes for Mimi, and I know a lot of fans did. And so it was very strange to see her not get involved with anything in the season. It seemed like every relationship was so kept at a distance for her, which led her to not being involved in any of the core alliances that were being made, or at least not being a vocal point in any of these core alliances. And then on top of that, not getting any DR time to explain herself. It all just made it kind of weird. It made you feel like maybe it would lead to something, and maybe that's kind of what the producers are hoping, that she would be a player that would be under the radar at first, and then we can have this big, reveal of her later in the game in the jury phase where she really comes to shine. And it just never got that way. It seemed like we got to see this week, even when her back was against the wall, she's trying to go to all these people to pitch when she's learning that the tide is turning against her. And you have people like Jag that are sitting there like, have you ever talked game with me? And that's a lot of people in the house. It's like, you never talked game with me, so why am I gonna keep you around? Like, Felicia's talked to me many times. It may not be about game every time, but it just feels like Mimi kept her distance so well against all of these other house guests that when it came time to actually defend herself, she just couldn't, because she didn't establish those relationships, which is on one hand means that you played a good middle game where you didn't get it too attached to one side over the other. But this is where the middle game comes to bite you, is when you reveal yourself to be somewhat good at competitions, but you're not aligned with anyone. So obviously, that gives people a great reason to evict you. And that seems to be what happened this week. So I'm really disappointed that Mimi did not get to continue to play this game, or at least shine a little bit, get in power at all. But at the same time, I would rather see her leave over Felicia, who's someone that's been a main character in this game from the beginning. Zack, how do you feel about Mimi going? I'll get you in on this.
I'm sad. I mean, she had potential, I feel like, but it was just wrong place, wrong time. And that's the whole, I feel like that she wanted to play the floater strategy, but she didn't make herself an asset to either side because of like the way that she was playing. If like you're having conversations with people like, oh, you've never taught game for me before, then that's not a good strategy to have for floaters, especially. And she was just a casualty of it. I'm glad that Felicia is staying, but on the other hand, if Mimi would have played it better and at least shown some type of something else, I feel like she could have made it to this week. But here we are.
Here we are. I will say, I agree. Caitlin said she should have done the Corey America FBJ exposing it at literally any other time this week before she was evicted. I agree. And that's another thing. It's just like, we know Mimi had all of these thoughts throughout the season of about all of these people. You know, we got that little insert when she was voting to evict a few weeks ago, where she's like, I know they're all cowards, they're all snakes, they're all liars, and we're like, that's great. But who are you talking about exactly?
Right.
It's like we just could not gauge Mimi as a player the entire time, where it's like different from being a floater, where it's just like, we know there's something there. We know you're doing this on purpose, but we cannot pinpoint for our lives to figure out where exactly you're heading with this. And I think that was the confusion with a lot of people not only working on the show, trying to get something out of DRs for her, but also the players in the game. I will say, she had the best reaction probably to anyone that got evicted, finding out that Jared and Sari were related. So I did enjoy that aspect.
What?
Oh, sorry. Zach, oh my God, you didn't know, did you?
You're kidding.
I am so sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Zach, we were going to tell you.
Oh my God. No way. I thought it was America and Cameron.
She did think it was America and Cameron. Thank you for saying that, because I totally forgot her guess was America and Cameron. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Not quite. That would have been a little bit strange. I don't think I clipped off, or I say clipped off. I'm just liking tweets, everyone. I don't think I like to tweet with a clip of Miko reacting to that reveal. I may find it later, but yeah, great reveal by her. Yeah, I'm happy Felicia's in the game though. I hate that Mimi had to go. Glad Felicia's here, especially for what happened almost happened in the HOH competition immediately following that, and obviously what Felicia brought to this week the entire time, which is the calling out of Corey in America. How about Corey? Let's say this: Izzy's eviction gets called Pipsqueak, and then the next real eviction that we have just gets stood up completely by Miko. So not a good couple of good evictions. And I guess before that you had Jared.
Yeah, he got a hug from Jared.
He did get a hug from Jared, which is good. But the most Mimi played was on her way out, says Pamela. You think that is an accurate take?
No. I mean, I think Mimi was playing. I just don't think that production did a good job of showing us what she was doing. I don't know. We as the audience need DRs to see what people's true intentions are, because we could hear conversations and on the feeds all we want, but we don't know who they're lying to and who their true loyalties are. So when they edit these episodes and they give people these weird edits like Mimi, where they don't give us those insightful DRs, we don't really know what she's doing. But then we see snippets of her throughout the season, the one of her in the storage room where she's this doesn't make sense, why are we doing this? And so it's she had the player mindset. We just needed more details.
Yeah. And even with her storage room rants, it was never, it still never got us to the point where we could really see what was going on with her. It seemed more of a therapeutic session for her. Again, she could give it was all in her mind, but she wasn't saying it out loud perfectly. It was just, everyone sucks. I hate them all, which might be how she played the game. She might have genuinely not liked anyone enough to actually make a connection with them in a game. So I don't know.
The Cody Nixon strategy.
Yeah, that worked out well for him too. You can play that way on The Amazing Race and it work out for you. You can't play that way on Big Brother, unfortunately. But yeah, so from that, I think Mimi is just going to be one of those what if stories, because I think if we have people battling a little bit more within each other, within all of these little factions that have been made the last couple of weeks, and Mimi survives this week, I really think that maybe she continues going. Hell, if she had just done a little bit worse in the veto competition this week, that might have also changed some things. Who knows?
Right.
Because it seems like they really did hinge upon Felicia can't win anything. Mimi's almost won this laundry list of things. And honestly, I think getting Mimi out is a better move for a lot of those players in the game. Keeping Felicia around, I think, is the obvious choice if you're trying to keep someone that you can beat in competitions. Now, Felicia's the ultimate pawn, I think, at a certain point. But at the same time, you have Bowie Jane that also exists.
Did you watch this HOH? Because she beat almost all of them.
If
only she could do math.
Well, that means Mimi would have won by logic. Maybe wouldn't have missed.
Sure. It's interesting too, because who's won an HOH and who hasn't? Felicia. So I mean,
Yeah.
it really just like, I guess, depends on like what kind of comps you're talking about. But
If you're counting on physical comps at the end, obviously you keep Felicia around.
Right.
Which, I mean, you really can at a certain point, which is why I'm slightly worried about a Matt, Jag, and Cameron steamroll that's about to happen. I think is the most likely scenario for the end game of all of this.
Just so stupid.
Yeah. And we'll definitely get into that because we're now at a point where we're in jury and we can kind of go through scenarios for who has the most potential to win because now we know who the jury votes are going to be. So I think we should do that at the end of this once we kind of cover everything else.
I think we should talk about the comps because I really hate how these seasons are doing it. Last season was a little bit better, but I feel like it was more staggered as far as like winners, especially whenever Michael got out. But even then, it was just back and forth between Monty and Turner. Like they're so stacked up towards like you, like the type of people that are like you, Barrett, like tall, lanky men.
I mean, if you're talking about the puzzle, HOH, sure.
Slip and slide, endurance,
definitely. Yeah.
the wall.
Well, the wall's not built for me.
I feel like the wall's built for the opposite. The wall's built for short people.
Zach, you think I could win a wall comp?
Kyle almost did.
He did. I know that for sure.
Barrett can't even do a wall sit.
I can't. Yeah, Nick knows. I was the only one doing a real wall sit 3 years ago. We all know it. But yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, no, there is no question that Big Brother needs to do better every single season with the comp disparity between what is fair or what is good as a physical comp and what is more of a luck comp. And I know if you watch anything on RHAB, they did a whole statistics on all of this. Statistics like segment on everything that has to do with how many competitions a guy wins in a given season versus how many competitions a woman will win in a given season. It's just so off. It's so scattered in terms of where it should be in this game, which is 50-50, and it never happens. And it's because you have the majority physical comps, and then you have luck comps every now and then to where it works out to like a perfect 75-25 split between men winning competitions and women winning competitions, which when you have Jag, Matt, and Cameron all now making up a third of the remaining house, I would be terrified of the damage that they're going to do towards the end of this game. I think it would be a miracle to not at least see one of them in the final two.
Don't speak that into existence.
I agree. Completely.
But I mean,
And it's going to be Cameron.
Why can't they bring what's it called? What's that comp that they do where they listen to something and they have to push the button like quickly? You know what I'm talking about? Like whoever's closest to the sounds wins. You know what I mean? The buzzer comp.
No.
People were hyping it up in season 10 because they were supposed to do it, but then it malfunctioned, and they had to do a different comp. Oh my gosh!
Doesn't I honestly don't remember.
Wow, this is a flop.
I guess I'm just a fake super fan.
Yeah,
or I don't know. Maybe Zach's the fake super fan because he doesn't even know what it's called. Maybe
at least I know what it is.
Remember it.
Yeah, is this even a real thing, Zach, or are you just
right.
making up descriptions?
I feel like he just pulled this out of his ass.
I'm being dead serious. Okay,
I will say, before I forget, a couple more things on Mimi. Nick, you have become obsessed with her tweets from 10 plus years ago.
Oh my god,
Much like
am.
everyone else. So this is the one that people really gravitated towards right after the eviction. But I mean, just a slew of tweets from 2012 and 2011 that Nick was sending in our group chat this week.
So many. The one where she was like, now I gotta go home because they struck a nerve or whatever the hell. So good. And then, yes, ma'am, I leave tomorrow.
But Buzz killed.
Buzz killed. Do you remember Buzz killed?
I think so.
He thinks he remembers. Is that good enough for you, Zach?
I guess so.
What do you know the tweets about the salad that Caitlin's talking about? Mimi's tweet about the
I
salad.
don't think so.
Apparently, there was a tweet about the salad.
There was one that I favorited today. Oh, this one. I'm about to talk shit tonight. I owe y'all. And
She
like
did it.
she did.
It. That was a great job. Drag Corey in America through the mud. I know 2 weeks ago I was like, Corey in America. I still am in a lot of ways, but like, yeah, drag him. I mean, come on. That's great TV. When she started calling them out at the end, and Bowie Jade, poor Bowie Jade getting dragged into this, but then immediately went to HOH. Yeah, Caitlin, please find the salad one. You can message it to me on Twitter and I'll show it because now I really am intrigued. But yeah. We don't have to talk about Mimi too much, but also I will say Blue did cast to evict, or what did she say? I cast to evict. We had one mess up in the,
Yeah,
in the
it
vote
was
tonight.
I think that's what she said. I cast to evict.
It was, yes, I cast to evict Mimi. Blue continues to just
Disappoint.
not disappoint necessarily. I would say disappoint in some ways, but more so just confuse me on any given day as to just what is happening. Less so than a couple weeks ago, I think, when we talked about her, because she seems to be more, at least she has like a motive of like, God, got to get Corey out. Man, can you put Corey on the blog? At least with those, I'm like, okay, I can do something with that. It's a little bit less confusing than her not like saying, it's a little bit less confusing than her being like, I want to get Jared out, but then being like, I can't evict Jared. So she's improved in that regard. I did have to skip through her narrating the veto comp, though. I must say I did not know how the veto comp rules worked because I just completely skipped the first part because I could not do it. Blue narrating a comp for like 5 minutes straight was just not the move for me. Her many like,
Girl, you need to use some mouthwash.
I was about to say, I think every sentence started with girl, and I don't know why they didn't just start editing them out at a certain point. It was every sentence. I was like, God, please, girl, stop. That was a little Blue rant. I'm done with Blue though until we talk about Blue.
May the power of Big Brother compel you.
I cannot. I want to like Blue so bad, and I can't.
It was this salad I just made bomb. I'm sure it was. I believe it. Okay, where do you want to transition to next? We can talk about Felicia going after Americory this week. We can talk about Cameron. We can talk about Bowie Jane as HOH. That might be an easy one to go into right now, and just the HOH comp, because that's really, I mean, let's be honest, that was the highlight of tonight, was the HOH comp.
100%. 100%.
Okay. HOH comp, we have the humilogram that was shown to the house guests last night. We have a bunch of different photos on Instagram of embarrassing moments of a lot of pre-jurors and which way have you. We got to memorize everything about it. And then we're asked true and false style questions. So at the end of our questions, we have a tie at 7 between, you guessed it, Bowie Jade and Felicia. Bowie Jane and Felicia. are the two. The top two scorers in this HOH comp. What?
Not Corey.
Not Corey. Not Suri. Not America. Not Matt. Not Jag. Not Blue. Felicia and Bowie Jane.
What universe are we in?
The Humiliverse.
Literally, when it went to commercial, so like I was watching the episode with somebody, and when it went on commercial, I was like what would be the most chaotic thing to happen? I was like, a Bowie Jane HOH, and I feel like I spoke it into existence because of that. Like,
yeah, you really did. Yeah, we all kind of we all kind of gave our predictions in our chat, and I was like, Suri, I'm feeling Suri, and then she immediately got that. She was the only one to get that first question wrong. And I was like, oh well, yeah. I guess maybe not Suri. Maybe literally everyone else. Sometimes you don't read the universe right. I can't read the Humiliverse apparently. But Felicia and Bowie Jane, not only do they make it to the final tiebreaker question from Julie, they give some of the most ridiculous answers I have ever seen in modern television. They're asked the question, how long in minutes was Jared a zombie? So Jared was a zombie for 1 week. I know we all do the math in our heads during this, but did anybody out there ever think 27 minutes?
I mean, maybe she was giving her June moment. I
don't even know. Let me think about this for a second. And I'm going to pop up just so we can get the visual. So at the end of this, we do have her write a 6 next to this 27, but it was 27 first. So let's not get this wrong. It was 27 minutes for like 90% of her answer. Then she put a 6 in front of it to make it slightly better, which 27 minutes would have still won, which is the miracle. It's very much Jin in season 8 winning after guessing 8 gallons of water could fit in the giant teacup, and ended up being a trick question because there's an open door. So only 8 gallons would fit in the entirety of the thing. So she still would have won regardless, but it being 627 versus Felicia's 49,500. And let's not forget, Felicia above 49,500, for the people listening audio only, has written out 60 times 60, which
is 1,200.
Which is 1,200, and under it wrote 49,500.
3,600.
Yes, it is 3,600. And so this is what we're left with: 627 versus 49,500. I recorded my reaction live to this just in case Felicia won, which she didn't, so my reaction is not as good. But I mean, when I was doing it, I was thinking I was trying to think in my head. I was gonna guess more like, I wasn't quite right. I was gonna say like 6,000. I think is what I was gonna go with, which is slightly better, but it definitely was not either 627 or 49,500. But I just wanted to acknowledge that I loved this moment. I would not change it for the world. Bowie Jane being the HOH now is the most chaotic outcome we could have had from that, I think, because she's the one player that, I got to tell you, I don't really have a great idea of what she's going to do. I mean, obviously, I think people are thinking, what, Felicia Blue right now? Felicia and Blue, possibly?
That was what I was thinking, because what?
Because she seems to be good with Matt and Jag. She seems to be good with Corey and America. She seems to be good with Cameron. So that only leaves me thinking that she could possibly go after Blue and Felicia. I will be interested to see finally what her thoughts are, for just a week itself. Because I feel like the only time that we've even gotten to see her thoughts in a diary room is when she was left out of the vote for Red. And that was just her talking about how her feelings were hurt. So we really I don't feel like we get a lot from her in the sense that we know where she's going to go strategically and where she really values seeing herself, or who she sees herself with at the end of this game. So
well, she did say that, I think it was in a confessional this week where she was saying that she does not trust Felicia or Suri, or at least like she said her trust was broken since
Oh, true,
that
true.
vote.
Because that
Yeah.
stems from the bye bye bitches.
Yeah.
After that vote and everything. Yeah. And I don't blame her because I remember watching all of that. And it was just very much Felicia being like, get over it, that type of attitude with it, which is not going to probably still hasn't sat well with Bowie, considering that's her real like game confrontation, other than
And she's
sitting.
like, or she's during her eviction speech. You know what? You can get over being on the block again.
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I don't want Felicia to really go this week. I'm glad Felicia's a juror. I still don't want to see her go, though. I'd rather see Blue out of the house, which I don't know if that's a consensus for everyone. But
I just think that if she's the first juror, it's going to make for a bitter jury.
Okay.
And that'll be good. Unless someone gets screwed in the end.
Yeah. I don't know. Felicia, though, I could see her voting for everyone but Cameron at this point.
Or Corey.
Me too.
Or America.
I don't know. I could see her voting for Corey in America. I think if you're the first juror, I mean, who's a famous bitter juror, I should say, in the modern Big Brother era? Would that be anybody on 19?
I was going to say anyone on BB2.
Modern Big Brother. 19 was probably the last true bitter jury that we had.
Yeah.
Because we've had, that would be because we've had Taylor won easily last year. We had
kind of 20.
You could, yeah, I could kind of see 20. Okay. I just don't know if there's anyone in this cast besides Cameron that you could really be too bitter towards. I mean, it also depends on how you act in your speeches and everything, which I could see Corey potentially going into a territory where he is too cocky, confident, where he loses votes in that sense. If he's up against like a Jag or, I mean, of course, America. I think America could beat Corey in the end. And I don't think it necessarily takes a bitter jury for America to beat Corey. But again, we'll talk about that too. Yeah, I could see Felicia being a bitter juror, but I think the vast majority of the house guess she wouldn't be right now. It would only be a Cameron situation, which I don't know if Cameron would even win just due to the fact that he got evicted.
I think if he sat next to Jag, he would win.
Well, can you imagine having two people? Oh my God, that's the disaster scenario.
That's
we have two people in the final two that have gotten evicted from the game.
I've thought about that too, because I'm like, they're gonna want to take each other, and like, it's the nightmare situation for me, because that's just no.
Yeah, we do not need that. Manifest. We need to manifest a much different outcome for this game.
Well, whenever I compared Mimi to Dan, she got taken out next. So you know what? Cameron's definitely looking like a Dan. You know, I think he's looking a very valuable player.
Sure.
I do want to still keep talking about Bowie Jane because I think it's very important that she is in power this week because we get to see what she does. So if you were Bowie Jane, I should say, you've gone, what are we on, day 70, 60?
Hello.
I don't know what day we're on, but what would you do?
We're on day 65.
Okay.
Crikey.
On day 65, if you're Bowie Jane, first time in power, first time you're going to actually probably get real information that is 100% true, and you know it's 100% true. What do you look for this week? How do you set yourself up to not be the punching bag of the season like you've been so far?
Well, I definitely wouldn't put up my mate, Cameron.
Do you backdoor him, though?
No, I don't think she would.
Who is the biggest threat to Bowie Jane? Is anyone?
No one.
Yeah.
So who's the biggest threat to get out then? Or does she just set up nominations to cause the most chaos? Well, she's not going to do that. But if she did, ideally, who would that be?
You know who she kind of reminds me of? Not a lot, just because I feel like she's just gonna. I think she's gonna do ultimately what her closest people want her to do, but I don't know why. But I'm getting like Sam vibes from her. Sam from BB 20.
Yeah. I can. That's tough. We haven't seen.
Is she
I feel
calling
like
her a
Sam
menace?
was so aggressive in her conversations with
Yeah.
people that I just don't see Bowie Jane for that. But
What if she's on the feed right now and she's like,
yeah,
no,
Bowie Jane unhinged week. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine with me.
she finally has power and she gets HOH-itis.
That could happen. Maybe we'll see a new Bowie Jane. Maybe we'll finally see DJ Bowie Jane come out. But I do agree with Shy Boy. I fear she'll let Matt and Jag run her HOH. I definitely see that
Yep.
as the leading possibility, which if that were the case, we would just see Felicia and Blue on the block, right? With Cameron as a backdoor option.
That's what I do think is going to happen. That's going to be Felicia and Blue.
Yeah. I do think that Matt and Jag have stewed long enough to know that if they're running out of opportunities to backdoor Cameron, they're getting so close to a point where he's going to play in every single competition. So especially, I mean, I guess I should specify he'll play in every single veto competition confirmed. Obviously, if you won HOH, you wouldn't play in the next one, but you have to beat him twice. You're getting to that point in order to actually evict him, which I don't know if they're even capable of with as many competitions as he can pull out in the actual skill set he has, which is terrifying. So I could see them definitely trying to push that on Bowie if they were to be in charge of her HOH, which would be exciting because she probably doesn't want to do that. So it'd be interesting to see what she would try to do instead. I just hope to see her actually playing the game this week and making moves for herself. I don't know if that will happen, but if she makes nominations and has a target that makes sense for her in the rest of this game, or at least makes sense for her in building relationships for the rest of this game, I would be ecstatic for Bowie Jane. I don't know if that's going to happen, though.
She's already better than Gen City.
Get off my girl's neck. Like,
Yeah,
we're not going to go there.
You can't just say that on this.
Uncalled for.
Yeah.
But
No.
when Bowie Jane vetoes Dan Giesling, let me know.
Yeah.
That was a bad game move for her.
And what about it? It was iconic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the same line that Corey saying that he wants to keep Felicia because one, it would be funny, is really valid sometimes. Like if you think a move you want to make a move just because you think it'd be funny, I think that also always goes on Big Brother.
I'm here for it's TV.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's the logic that Kevin Jacobs went by.
And he won.
Yeah. He's like, what's going to be fun? What's fun? What's going to cause the most chaos?
And he was a great winner.
Yes.
You've never
You don't even
watched
know
it.
who he is, Barrett.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was great.
Best Big Brother season of all time.
I'm trying to yes and y'all, so
I-
if you call
I
me out
disagree,
after I
but-
yes and y'all, it makes me not want to agree with anything you ever say ever again. Everyone who is here in the chat knows I've never watched Big Brother Canada. You don't have to remind them. They see through the BS. Okay, so I don't even know really what topic we were just on besides Bowie Jane in general, but
Bowie Jane and who she's going to nominate.
Yep. So I'm excited to see the feeds tonight just to see how everyone approaches Bowie Jane, to see if we get any insight as to who in the world she's going to nominate. Maybe she'll even reveal that she is actually 10 years older than she's been saying. Who knows? She did just celebrate a fake birthday. So, I mean, it was her real birthday, but she was celebrating a fake age on that birthday. Even though everyone in that house is aware that she is not 35 years old or whatever she was saying. Everyone is like, there's no way. There's no way she's that young. So, yeah, I don't know what the point of that, what me saying that was. But we should move on to...
Oh my gosh, there was this like short clip that I saw on Twitter. It was really funny. So this is the only reason why I'm bringing it up. But it was for like Bowie Jane's birthday. And she said like, someone was like, oh, how does it feel to turn? I don't even remember how old it was. And you hear Sari in the background go, again. Like meaning like she turned age. I thought it was so fucking funny. Like, it was great.
Again.
Honestly, Cerie's like a background character at this point. She's
she,
not.
yeah. Well, she
Yeah.
said that she wanted to lay low, kind of just go into the darkness, the abyss of this week, of this chaos. And honestly, it's working really well for her. You know who we didn't really talk about being a target for Bowie Jane in that entire thing? Cerie. She could easily put up Cerie on the block. I mean, that is not out of the realm of possibility by any means. I think targeting Cerie is not a bad move for probably anybody in the house, because otherwise she's just going to skate to the end, and you don't want that you don't want anyone to have that opportunity.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do you want an interesting rest of the season, Zach?
It would be interesting. She started from the bottom.
If
She's not at the top right now.
No, she's definitely not at the top.
She's floating.
Is she floating well?
I mean, is she in the realms of being talked about getting put up by us?
Not
No.
in my brain, at least, right now.
Exactly.
Could that change in an hour, though? Probably. But I think there's a lot of people that will defend Cerie and not want her out of the house. So that also goes to Cerie's favor. And that especially being Matt. Because everybody
And Cam.
likes Matt and Matt likes Cerie. So that's how it really works out for her this week in my eyes. And that's how it probably works out for her the next couple weeks, more than likely. You also have, Jared saying, please take care of Cerie. So she's got not only Matt and Jag, but also Cameron trying to make this little promise, which who knows how long that promise goes for Cameron and Cerie. It probably expires the next time he gets in power. But at least for this week, that was great for her. She had the 3 best competitors in the house, all pretty much willing to keep her in the game without a second guess. So that's great for her.
And Blue.
And Blue. But I am fascinated to see where Cerie takes her game now that we are in the jury phase. It's just hard because she seems so uninspired sometimes to be there, but I can't tell if that's uninspired or if it's her just trying to relax. I think it's a mix of both. I think she hates being there right now, just from watching how she just doesn't want to do anything anymore. She doesn't look like she's having fun a lot of the time. I going back to the clip of everyone singing "Happy Birthday" this week, and
God,
she just
so good.
I'm gonna play that because I know I saved it.
I love that clip. I've seen it all over like TikTok and everything too. Like,
All right.
Oh my God, come on. Happy birthday to you.
That just reminds me of the clip I played earlier in this season where she was complaining to Felicia or Izzy, I think, about we don't have to do everything together. This whole house doesn't have to get together. Like when people come in here and they're like, "Do you want to see the pancakes?" It just reminds me of that.
oh my gosh, yes.
Like, I want to go find an idol. I want to be on my own on an island.
Yeah.
Which they also said again this week.
Yeah, they did. I think it was
Jesus.
I think it was the Sunday resurrection episode they said it.
I'm on an island on my own. We get it. She was on Survivor. Okay. We're watching it on CBS. Yes, we know she was on Survivor.
Zach, what if I told you that there was actually 2 house guests in this game that were related?
Cameron America?
No, I mean, if it was anybody this year besides Jared and Cerie, it was probably Cameron and Riley.
Oh God.
His first daughter?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah,
stop.
I think you said that you forgot that Kirsten was on this season. I forgot that Riley was on this season until we saw her face tonight in that Humillagram competition.
Literally.
That feels like forever ago, which I mean, it kind of was. It was almost 2 months ago. And the fact that was like almost 2 months ago and we're just in the jury phase of this game.
That literally feels like last season. Like,
yeah. 2 months ago is when this game started. 1 month ago, it feels like is when we had our last eviction before tonight, which in some ways you could argue it was. But
honestly, I think a month ago was whenever Jag wasn't evicted.
I think you're actually right. It probably was 1 month ago because last week we had Jared go. The week before that we had Jared and Cameron go. The week before that we had Izzy go, and then the week before that we had Red, or was that Jags?
It was Red.
And then before Red was Jag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know what. Yeah, they're.
It even feels like Red was evicted like an eternity ago. Like that even feels like
Why
so long ago now.
Why is it suddenly just catching up like this? Like now that we have almost half the cast remaining, not even quite, and we're a month away from we're a month and 4 days away from the finale, I believe. It's November 9th, I think, is when we have our finale. So
it is, November 9th.
It's going to be a jam-packed last month, hopefully. So if we have 4 weeks or 5 weeks really until the finale, are we gonna see? We're gonna see one more double, maybe?
Definitely.
Yeah, the chat boy just says so. Definitely a double. Yeah, I think we have to with the way the math works. So 5 weeks. Yeah, one more double, and that should work out to having a final 4 in that last week or so, week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to look forward to. Maybe we'll have a double eviction where 2 people actually leave the house and don't immediately re-enter the house. Will be exciting for all of us to see.
People actually being evicted.
Yeah, it's great. It's like the show. It's like the show used to be, you know? That's exactly what we want. I'm going to go through notes that I made for this week and just make sure that I'm not overseeing anything, because there was a lot of really fun moments that I thought happened. I loved in Sunday's episode, I loved Cerie's line about these are, after Jared was evicted, saying these are just strangers and vultures and serpents. I was like, God, that cuts deep. That's a good line.
Yes.
And you could tell
And
she came
traitors.
up with that shit.
And traitors and Black Widows.
And when she said serpents, and I was just like, serpents in the grass? Possibly. We had Blue mourning about Jared leaving, and she really wants to avenge her Pooh Bear. I made a note of that. That is a quote from Blue. She wants to avenge her Pooh Bear.
Anyway.
Yeah. I do genuinely wonder, though, if you're a casual watching Blue still, do you know exactly where her head is? Do you know? Like, I really, like, I'm not a casual. I'm like 50% there with the lack of feeds that I've had to watch this season. So if you're a casual, is Blue just confusing you in terms of what she wants in this game? Does anybody know if you're only watching the show? Because she's
a TikToker. She's just there for clickbait.
Yeah.
She's there for advertising.
Yeah. I don't know.
Damn.
It really sucks that, like, I wish someone would just tell Blue, hey, you act really different in the house than you do when you're in the DR. Can we, like, even up that a little bit? Because it's like, once you're out there, I feel like you're a completely different person. And I'm sure that's also really confusing to people. They're like, why is she, like, which I guess this week was more so like the Blue that we see in the DR, where she's going around just throwing things in the air. Like, man, we should get Corey out. Like, it'd be crazy. Like, just put Corey up. Like, just put Corey up real quick. Like, just do it. That's more of the Blue that we see in the DR. So I guess it was better this week. But yeah, Shaboy would be confused. Thank you for backing me up on that.
Come on, just put Corey up. Please.
Oh no, we're gonna get another Zack Blue imitation.
I don't like this.
No, I don't either. We're gonna move on. So we did see Bowie explaining her strategy in the last HOH comp. We got a DR, which was refreshing to me to just see her in the DR. Obviously, we're gonna get that DR count up this week. I'm so excited. Bowie Jane is gonna own the DR.
By 2.
Yeah, she's gonna have she may have 3 DRs by the end of the week. Who knows?
Cameron's still gonna get them all for some reason.
So what Bowie said was that's gonna be everyone else's DR.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be Bowie explaining herself.
So what Bowie is basically saying is,
oh yeah, we haven't really talked about the fugitives or we really haven't talked about the final four that Corey tried to make with Mimi and Felicia, and we haven't talked about the fugitives, which formed between Matt, Jag, and Cameron, which is I would say is like a 70% real alliance, because obviously they worked together this past week, not for the reasons that Cameron or not with the loyalty that Cameron probably thinks he has between Matt and Jag, or actually Cameron may know that every alliance that is ever made with him is probably not the realest alliance. But he's using it to his fullest ability at the moment. So we see this fugitives meeting. Cameron wants to get rid of someone he knows wouldn't be good in jury. That's Felicia. Corey this week acted way too confident. I think about that conversation he had with Cameron in the HOH room at the beginning of the week, where he was just like, so what do you want me to do? You just want me to like lay low this week? You just want me to chill? Like, are you kidding me, Corey? Why are you acting like that? Why would you think Cameron is good with you? Like, that is insane to me that he walked up there and thought that this man who loves to get fear out of every person in this house, he thought that what he should do, Cameron's love language is fear. Let's just get that out of the way. If you're going to go have a conversation with Cameron while he's in power, you got to act scared out of your mind, because he like gets off on this for some reason. So Corey goes up there and does the complete opposite. And it's just like acting cool and nonchalant, like they're best buds. Like, no, you're not best buds with Cameron. Nobody, you know who Cameron's best buddy is? It's Cameron. Because I don't think he even, because he does not care an ounce about anyone else. I don't care if you say America. No. They're not related, and they're not friends.
Wait, that's why he keeps on trying to talk with her, because she's scared of him, and he's like, oh, that must mean she really likes me.
Yeah, he sees the fear and thrives on it. That's exactly what it is. It's messed up, Zach. So Corey doing that this week, and then trying to do the old I'm gonna form an alliance but then act like the other person did. No, I feel like that rarely ever works. That's really only worked with Jackson Mickey in 21, I think. Maybe other people could throw out examples of the other times that this has worked, but the only time I can think of someone claiming that someone else started an alliance after they started an alliance, well, even Jackson Mickey didn't really do this. All he did was overhear something and then flip it as a lie between like a final four or a final three that he heard being formed.
Wait, it worked with Nicole Franzel.
Which one? I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Nicole.
That's bait.
No, it's Nicole. Whenever she was,
you know where this is going.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
Let me finish. It was Nicole whenever she told a lie to Natalie and James about Paul and Victor coming to them saying who they were going to evict.
I'm not counting it just because I know what you're doing and we're not talking about it.
It was a point. It worked. She won, didn't she?
She did win. But I'm not counting that as you convincing us to bring up season 18, because I caught it. I caught what you were doing.
You mentioned one. You mentioned one, and that was a perfectly fine reason of why.
I can't help but think that you reached just to use that.
I didn't reach. It was no reach.
No, you didn't. It was valid. Anyway, frustrated with Corey this week. I think he played terribly. I think he did awful.
What about that joke about I think he made it, I forgot who he made it to, but he was saying how, oh yeah, Felicia was saying she was going to vote for the best game player, so Jag is definitely getting her vote.
I get he's the youngest person in the house.
I thought it was funny. I would have laughed.
I don't know. There's something. You just got to be careful, man. He doesn't know when to shut his mouth. And I know the entire season, this thing has been like the jokes. I'm going to make a joke about this thing happening in the game, and it automatically gets people stirring about that thing actually happening. Just, I think the way he defended himself against Felicia was not very good either, especially for some, like if he wasn't lying, if Felicia really did start this Final Four, I think maybe he would have taken that as like a correct route of just being like, she's lying. But the fact that America, after this veto meeting, Felicia calls America and Corey out for starting the Final Four. After America goes in on Felicia, he decides to take the complete opposite approach instead of just following America's lead, which he probably should have, because then it just looks suspicious that you don't try. Like, America's like, we didn't come up with this. And when you have one person saying that and the other person's like, I'm not getting into it, that probably means they're the people that are lying about it. When you have two people that can't even get on the same page about how to argue that point. I thought that was really bad. Also, kind of hampered his chemistry with America, but because they finally had this perfect cohesion moment in the game where they can argue about something together in a house scenario, and he just completely walked away from it.
I think he's just trying to. I think he's just trying to avoid the conflicts.
I get that. I really do.
I can get just talking with someone one-on-one, and I mean, Felicia made a good point though too. If you talk one-on-one with someone, you can definitely lie about it. But I see your point too, Barrett, where it's like, if you're fighting for your life and you know that person's not going to talk about it with you one-on-one, then may as well bring it out, lay it all out, and then do the Jackson Mickey thing.
Yeah, it was also
you made an alliance with me.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully there was less people in the house to try to disprove Jackson Mickey. For Jackson Mickey's case, obviously I didn't want that to happen, but it was honestly a great move, though. We can't deny that was a great move by Jackson Mickey, unfortunately. But that is like another lie that somehow worked out for someone fake creating a final three. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was just him not defending America in any way. I think that made it look way more suspicious than it had to if he had just at least, if he had just gone gung-ho and maybe for 30 more seconds been like, you're lying, Felicia, we know it was you, maybe people would have slightly looked at that differently. But the way that both of them reacted completely the opposite of each other, and it seemed like America had to prepare a response almost to be like, okay, I know I've messed up, but I still have to argue it to make it look like it. Just, I feel like if you were anybody else in that house, which I mean, you probably already know what the truth was at that point. I feel like after that argument, for sure what the truth was based on the reactions by everybody involved.
I also understand what they were trying to do, but it's also like, why are you trying to make an alliance with someone that you know is very confrontational and you know will put people's crap out there to air out? Yeah, and also just, I don't know, be bad at being secret about it. I mean, Matt caught it instantly. Good for Matt. My favorite DR of the week might have been him just being like, yeah, I mean, me and Jag are making side alliances too, but the only difference is I don't get caught. So that, I think that perfectly summarizes Corey's game of just not being careful when you feel he should totally be careful. He has no reason not to be careful. He should see the target that is constantly on him. To be fair, Matt has more can read it better than other people, because on Corey's defense, I mean, Corey should not have done this because that's a red flag anyway. He should not have hit it in his mouth. Oh, yeah. I mean, feel like that was like, I mean, that's what started the whole thing anyway. If he didn't do that, maybe he just had his back turned or something. Yeah. Regardless of if you have someone who is a very good lip reader or not, I think anytime the way he was sitting, he crouched forward and was just turned and did this. Anytime anyone does that, I think you should be suspicious. It's not just not being perceptive of Matt. I think anybody looking at that would be like, oh, well, that's interesting. So, frustrated with Corey on a lot of aspects this week. I think he just digs himself into holes, it seems like. And I don't see him undoing any of that necessarily. I mean, they still don't want him out, first at least. No, but I think he's it's just gonna be him. I think he's gonna be the victim to go out of all of these other house guests and factions, just because he's not going to be able to compete with Matt and Jag and Cameron in a lot of these competitions. Unless they go after each other. They could. But if you saw a path where you either for sure got to a final three with two other really good competitors, or you tried to get one of those competitors out and risk yourself becoming the number one target before the end, which path do you really choose? Do you bank on yourself winning those competitions at the end if you know for sure you can get to a final three with two other good competitors? Well, then you have a less likely chance of winning those competitions. I feel like you should at least get one of those two other competitors out, because at least if one of you isn't safe, then or at least if you're safe, there's still, or not safe, there's still a person in front of you.
Yeah. I guess another question is, if you're in the fugitives, do you take Cameron to the final two?
If you're Jag, well, even if Jag has no winning scenario.
Not really. Like, if you're going against Matt or Cameron, I don't think he does.
Well, yeah, he can't win with anyone in the fugitives. He can't win with anyone else in the house.
My prediction is Jag is going to be the runner-up of this season.
I can see that.
He's gonna win again, or he's gonna lose against America.
Period. I like that.
Yeah, I think Blue also gives me second place vibes.
I think Blue gives me like second. Blue gives me like double eviction casualty vibes.
Me too.
You know who we're not talking about though? Who's going to be the dark horse winner?
Fucking Bowie Jane.
That's right. What an arc. I mean, Taylor had a great arc last year. What an arc Bowie Jane would have to become like a non-existent in this game to winner. Without one DR session.
Imagine a Legends season and Bowie Jane gets invited.
I mean,
Bowie Jane versus Dan Giesling.
When Bowie Jane does so well that they put her on Big Brother Australia next. And then what? When she's the first person to win Big Brother in 2 countries, then what?
And then she's going to go on Survivor and win that. And then she's going to go on The Amazing Race by herself and win it. Single-handedly.
And then go on
carrying
Survivor
2 giant
Australia.
backpacks. Yes.
And then she's going to go on the challenge.
I see this. I see the future. And it's all Bowie Jane. The Bowie Jane supremacy. Bowie Jane empire in the future.
Bowie Jane for traitors.
Yes. Bowie Jane for everything.
Bowie Jane on Love Island.
We're just going to see one day there's going to be Times Square. It's just going to be filled with a bunch of giant LED screens of Bowie Jane's face telling us that she loves us.
My hair looks like an alien.
There. I would be there.
You would. You're close.
Yeah.
Bowie City.
Oh, maybe so. Okay. Let's move on
Nikki
from our dream scenario here. Let me go through. I'll go more on my notes, I should say. So we got Blue telling Cam she needs Corey out. Duh. So Felicia and Cameron, I'm going to talk about this. I think every time they had a conversation this week, I said to myself, this is great TV. Oh my God, this is great. Oh my God, this is great. Because they do not like each other. I don't think in the slightest. I've like, part of it is like, I don't even think they like each other as people in the slightest. I really don't. Like when Felicia said, we've never talked game this whole season. You know how mind-blowing that is to hear? Because that was so true. Like she sat back and thought about it. She really said, you know what? I don't think we've talked game this whole season. 60 plus days. You live in this confined house with someone. Not once have you talked game with her. Like, how do you go 60 days and someone truly believes that they have never talked game with you? Like, that blows my mind that could even happen in a game like this. That is literally in person in a confined space for 2 months. With one less person each week to talk game with. And he still hasn't chosen Felicia.
Both of them were HOHs at one point. Like prior to this.
Yeah. And I get like, you know, week 3, week 4, they're already going after each other. There's no point to talk game, but like it still blows my mind that she truly believes that. And if it actually really is true, like I guess it is true. Like the only time I can really remember, it was a whole group setting with Cameron in the room. It was never just Cameron and Felicia. It's kind of like a sixth sense of in the Big Brother term. She's like, we're going to go back. We're like, they never were in the same room as each other. But that blew my mind. And also just their conversations themselves really were fascinating to me. Cam said, you're the best persuader in the house. And then Felicia said, that's where you're wrong. And then Cam said, you're doing it already. And then like immediately cut to Felicia throwing Sari under the bus. It'd be like, you know who's actually a target you should go after? Sari. Which didn't work.
You're already doing it.
And then she says that she would give Cameron a vote in the jury. She tries to counter his jury argument for that, which he was very upfront about. You know, she's saying, so you don't believe I will be a vote for you? And he said, basically. Which is... his honesty kills me. I almost said his honesty honestly kills me, which would have been a bit much, but his honesty kills me.
I mean, you're pretty honest too.
Basically.
Barrett Cameron.
Why in the world do you think Felicia would ever give Cameron a vote in the end? Is she BSing him? Is there any scenario where you see Felicia ever voting for Cameron against anybody else in the house?
No. I don't think so. I'm literally looking at the cast right now, and I really don't think so.
If he's next to Bowie Jane.
I don't even know. I don't even know if that happens next to Bowie Jane. But I think that might be the most likely. You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe Jag?
2 evictees. The nightmare scenario might be the only time that we see Felicia voting for Cameron. But even then, I think she would vote for Jag. She likes Jag much more than Cameron. She actually only has to like Jag a little bit to vote for him. Like maybe 0.1%. And that would still be more than the amount that she likes Cameron. But no, she's cool with Jag. So Jag would always get Felicia's vote over Cameron.
I think so.
No matter how poorly Jag plays in the last 5 weeks of the game, there's no scenario where I see Felicia ever.
Last 5 weeks? You mean the whole game?
Well, yeah. I'm saying right now she would still vote for him, but even if he played terribly, like the last 5 weeks. So Mimi, after being told she was going on the block, tells us y'all are going to see another side of me, quote unquote. So we did not see another side of Mimi, I'm afraid.
What side?
I made a note of that because at that point I knew that she was not. There's no other side of Mimi that we were still seeing in this house. We did not see another side of Mimi until she was about to walk out the door and decided to call out people. So we did see another side of Mimi, but even that was just Mimi to us because we've seen that Mimi before in the storage room alone and then DR sometimes, but we never really get to see it in the house. But you know,
I just don't understand. I mean, I can understand a little bit, but everyone's throwing Corey and America under the bus. But even before that, everyone already knows. I feel like that they are making all these different alliances and things like that. Like, it was good TV, don't get me wrong, but why not throw other people on the bus?
I mean, you could. You definitely could, but yeah, I agree. She should have at least tried to do something.
I also don't know why she threw Bowie Jane out there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to throw Bowie Jane out there. You throw anybody out, it doesn't matter if you're talking about like as soon as probably as soon as every evictee has left and someone was perturbed about it, they go, Bowie Jane, God.
Honestly, I'd be mad if Bowie Jane lasted longer than me.
Well, I was just about to say the fact that we're about to be in the final 8, like after this weekend, Bowie Jane still has not touched the block is kind of incredible to me.
Yeah,
despite being just so uninvolved.
Well, how many people have not touched the block?
Sari hasn't touched the block either.
Yeah, I think it's Sari, Bowie, and Matt. That's it.
Hey,
'Cause
that's a
it was
third of the
mainly
cast that
two.
still hasn't been nominated, though, which I feel like that's a good portion, usually by the jury point.
That
Two
is,
of them have already
but-
been evicted, though.
Yeah, that's the real stat breakers. Like 3 of them haven't been nominated, and 2 of them have been evicted. that is
is
5 people
true.
of our 9 the 9 people left in the house, I should say. So could be interesting. Yeah, Suri, Matt, Bowie. Thank you, Shy Boy. Yeah, so that's such weird scenarios that we have.
Oh
in
wait,
this
Luke.
season.
Luke was never nominated.
Luke here, you're right. Yeah, as soon as Luke
Okay.
left, as soon as Luke was expelled, they said, Bowie Jane, what the hell? Everything's Bowie Jane's fault.
It is.
So I guess I can keep going down my notes because it's really is sparking other things for me to talk about. So Felicia has a great line that I wanted to remember. She says that she got here because of who she is, and she said that Cameron is still here because he won competitions, which is such a good dig, and I love it. Every little dig that she has at Cameron just hits to me, and that was such a good line of like, yeah, that's true, Felicia. You are here because you have better relationships with people, and you can't win competitions. But also Cameron is only here because he won competitions. He literally got evicted.
Is that a good line?
Yeah, it's a good line.
Yeah.
Well, she's now needed a vote flip to stay 2 different times, which this week I would say is definitely because she stayed because of who she is and at least the relationships that she has with people. I would say that's very much why she stayed this week, even if the competitions things was kind of like a selling point for a lot of people. Because Mimi just didn't do, even when Mimi found out that the vote was flipping on her, with Jag especially, I didn't think she put up a good front about it.
I mean,
just like
even whenever she was up against Izzy, she still stayed because of who she was, and I mean versus who Izzy was.
yeah, in a way.
So yeah,
It's always had something to do with it. But she is right that Cameron is only here because of competitions. That much is not argued at all.
Cameron, Jackson, Mickey, Barrett.
Oh
they're
my
all the
god.
same.
Yeah, put me on the Mount Rushmore with that group.
Oh, boy.
Christian, Derek X. Oh no, not Derek X.
Why are you throwing Christian and Derek X into this?
Because Christian won a bunch of comps like crazy.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about people that people didn't like.
Oh no, people who like taller white guys who win competitions.
You said Derek X?
Oh wait,
Oh.
taller. Yeah, just taller guys. How about that?
Wow, you think I don't watch season? You should go watch season 23. Derek X, still waiting on him to be the 18th house guest. Everyone,
I know. I can't believe he's been in sequester for so long.
He's got to be getting tired, hungry. I mean, wants to see the outside world. We got to put him in the house. Oh, I mean, well, never mind. He wouldn't see the outside world. He would go to the Big Brother house. That was stupid. Okay. So we have Americory's Constitution hot talk. I'll skip over that. We have Felicia telling Cam she wants to see if there's an avenue where they can work together, and he just said no.
Yeah.
He said no.
Yeah.
That is not me BSing. That is the quote from Cameron after being told by Felicia that she wants to see if there's an avenue where they could work together. A thing where everyone always says, yeah, sure, even if they don't mean it. This man just said no. That is crazy. And that he doesn't want her in the jury house. And now then Felicia kind of sets her sights on Corey after finding out that Corey was saying all the things about their Final Four and saying that she formed it instead of him. We have the Exorcist veto comp. Yay. And Cam wins.
Also,
Yeah.
no, rewind. Where's the button? The Exorcist veto comp. They said that lasted 6+ hours.
It could have.
I think something happened. I read something happened with one of the wigs.
Yeah,
Or
there was
something.
maybe there's a lot of kind of pieces to deal with in that comp. So I don't
Like
know.
a wig on the zombie.
I don't know. It was like there was something about a wig on a dummy and it got caught in a fan and it like screwed it all up. So they had to like stop Mimi like mid comp and then like fix it, and then she had to go again or something.
Could that have
So that's why
delayed?
she lost.
Or maybe that's
Maybe.
why she got a really good score because she got to do it again.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's true
hey,
too.
don't drag her like this.
I'm not. I'm just giving you an alternate scenario.
Barrett is dragging.
You're trying to run a
women.
narrative of production rigging the show when that has never happened ever in the history of this show, Zach. Name one time that production has rigged Big Brother. You can't. See, you didn't even think of
Jackson,
one.
Exactly.
Jackson, Mickey, Final Four veto.
No, he didn't. He won that fair and square.
Yep.
At the producers gave him a hint.
Yeah, because
And what about it?
Oh my gosh, Jackson, Mickey stands. Chat, destroy them.
I didn't say it was a stand.
Y'all are defending him.
No, we have to argue with you, Zach. It's the only fun part of the show.
You know what? I need to put my my hands on both of you. May the power of Big Brother compel you.
You can put your hands on us now.
May the power of Big Brother compel you.
I feel compelled.
That was quite a moment that we just shared.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been exercised.
Wait, I have another Mimi tweet real quick before we
Yes, please.
before we move on. So apparently, well, not apparently, but literally 13 years ago on this date, she tweeted, "Welp, season's over. Time to tie up the cleats and hang them up. It's been real, ladies."
On this date.
On October 6th, 2010. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's literally on there.
That's awesome.
What would she be playing?
2010 would have been 13 years. She's 30, so she would have been 17 when she tweeted that.
What sport has cleats and would be ending? Because soccer is in spring.
Maybe she got an injury in soccer. Maybe it was intramural soccer. Maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know.
She was swimming against Matt.
What if I told
Oh
you
my God.
that there are two former rivals in this house?
She owes me $5.
$5.
I have plans for that $5.
Yeah, they really blew it with that last one. That last duo to bring in. Okay. Cam pitches putting Corey up on the block. We really haven't talked about that yet. That was definitely a big focal point for a couple of days. Of course, Blue wants Corey up all week. Cameron's thinking about putting Corey up. We have Matt, who really is kind of on board with putting Corey up, and Jag being the only person who can kind of go against it. But in the midst of this entire argument, we don't have Corey up on the block, but we do have still the thought of it that Corey ends up finding out about. He finds out that Matt and Jag really didn't tell him about Blue really wanting him on the block, which should really get him thinking. We'll see if it does. We'll see if that turns into anything this week. I don't think it really will, but yeah, not a good week for Corey. Like I've been saying, I'm sure anyone that watched would agree that this is not a good week for Corey. Makes me have a lot less confidence in him, I think, as a player now that we're in the jury phase. Maybe he takes it. He just needs another slap in the face, I think, to find out that he is not sitting pretty. I don't know what being told that someone in the house is going after you hardcore and that you were nearly put on the block and that one of your two alliance members, so you think, didn't tell you a single word about it. That should be concerning enough, I think, Corey. But we have all that happen. Corey doesn't go on the block. Can I say, I get the cliffhanger for the veto meeting, episode ending type of thing. I get it for when the veto is actually going to get used. Why in the world do you think that is a good idea for when you well know that that veto does not get used?
Right.
You know that he is not going to use that veto. Why? And it looks so... I'm not going to say it looks stupid, but it looks stupid to me as a viewer to see a cliffhanger on an episode that just immediately goes into, oh, actually, it's not It's not. The veto didn't get used.
Will Cameron use the power of veto and set a backdoor plan in motion to get Corey out? Find out Thursday before the live eviction at 8
Don't
or
ever
at
give Zack this
8
job.
Central.
I just want to take
Do
Zach's
not.
audio and put it at the end of the episode, like dub it over instead with the music. So Zach, give me one more time. Me and Nick will be silent. I want you to prep the next episode of Big Brother. We just ended. We don't know if Cameron's going to use the veto. And yeah, we're all scared. What's going to tell us?
Find out next week if Cameron will decide to use the power of veto to set forth a plan in motion to backdoor Corey. Join us Thursday at 8 Central to find out on Big Brother.
Thank you.
I made sure to mute my mic for that one.
Whew. Okay. That was beautiful, Zach. Thank you so much for that. I can't wait to watch the next episode.
I was debating like
Me neither.
about doing like this, or I guess Monday. No, wait, Sunday's the next episode, right?
Yeah.
They changed their schedule so much. We should talk about that too. But find out Sunday who's going or who Bowie is going to send down under on Big Brother.
Not down under.
God. All right. So Corey also made another blunder by telling Blue that he's worried about Cam before the veto meeting if it happened, I should say. I forgot to mention that. Another dumb Corey thing that he did this week. Why in the world would you tell Blue, of all people, that you're worried about the HOH later in the game or getting more power before the veto meeting even happens, when he has the opportunity to put you on the block? He literally has all the power, and you are giving Blue all the ammo that she needs.
You're telling the girl, the whatever they are, the other half of the guy who you sent packing on a double. Why are you telling her? Why?
Yeah. Why is the question?
Corey, I want to root for you so bad.
We see Felicia obviously go after Corey in America. That led into the response from that in tonight's episode. Yeah. Felicia, I love that she did this. I am so glad. This is like the first speech we've even gotten to see of the season in the veto meeting, I'm pretty sure. So apparently we only get speeches now when it's someone trying to argue with another person, which I kind of don't enjoy, but it's whatever. I feel like that's part of it. Anyway, little rant, but we get to see a little bit of that from Felicia going after Corey in America in her speech. Yeah, I think she should do that every time. I think we should all just get in fights all the time. Veto's not used. We see Cam confessing tonight to Corey that Blue is after him, and we see Corey kind of be like, well, Matt and Jack didn't tell me that, which is not great. Then we see Felicia starting to make her pitches. We see Jag kind of being like, yeah, this is actually not a bad idea to go ahead and get rid of Mimi. And then Corey, thankfully, thinks it's a funny idea to keep Felicia in the game. So we don't have to convince Corey that he came up with this himself. He'll just think that he came up with this himself and drive the narrative, which was kind of a thing yesterday of let's pretend that to make Corey think that he thought of this idea, so we don't have to act like we were thinking it the entire time, which worked. So good job, Corey. You thought of this all yourself, buddy. Don't worry. Which technically he did think of the things himself. He just thought of it after everybody else and didn't know that he thought of it after everybody else. But that's all I got, really. We saw the eviction. We saw the HOH. We went over all that. And I think that's all my tidbits from the episode. I don't think we watched a lot of clips of things that have happened in tonight's episode. I have a little bit of America versus Felicia. If we want to go watch that one more time.
Oh, we can totally watch that.
Okay. Let me unmute it because you famously have to hear things on a podcast.
So I don't know what they were talking about this morning because these final fours that we've been hearing about have been coming from you.
Have been coming from me?
Yes.
See, that's another lie. Corey saying that I approached him about a Final Four. I didn't approach Corey about no damn Final Four, and you know that.
You approached me here on the counter. You said,
No,
what do
I
you
did
think
not.
about a Final Four with me,
No,
you,
no,
Corey,
no,
and
no.
Mimi?
All you guys are such lies.
See, I think America actually did a pretty decent job at lying about this.
Yeah, she did.
Which makes it even more disappointing that Corey was just like, actually, I'm going to leave. You got this, America? You
He
seem
just,
to
like,
be a
walked
good...
away.
Corey, the persuasive speaker, walked away from an argument. Yeah, doesn't look good. Anyway, let me continue this.
Liars.
Did not say that.
Yes, you
I'm
did.
not. No, and I don't want to bring Mimi into this or other people, but that's not what happened. Did Corey and I start this Final Four with Felicia and Mimi? Yeah, but am I gonna say it? No. What?
Honesty.
See,
She's
Blue,
the queen for
that is
that.
how you act in the diary room, and you act the same way outside the diary room.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like some people that don't know when they don't know that we know that they're lying because they don't think that we watch them all the time. And I don't know. That happens every year with people that don't really know the game or the live feeds that well. But it's just frustrating to see every time that they allow that disconnect. Like, I don't care if a producer says to a house guest, hey, you know people watch you all the time, right? So you don't have to, like, you could just keep it consistent. Like, you don't have to, they're not only watching you in the diary room because they're seeing something completely different 24 hours of the day otherwise.
If you're going to be boring in the house, be boring in the diary room.
Yeah, be boring all the time. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, we just won't use you. Okay, well, let's finish out this real quick.
What am I gonna do? Tell the truth on Big Brother? Come on, Felicia.
Yes.
What game do you think we're playing?
Exactly.
We need to get Corey out, because that's who I really want out. It's
Queen.
Corey. Because Corey's been lying, cheating, and stealing on everybody this whole damn season. How long you think your game gonna last riding under Corey? What you think you done so far?
That little pause. What was that? You think that pause because she was afraid she said something bad right there?
Wait.
Season. How long you think your game gonna last riding under Corey? What you think you done so far?
I'm not being
I didn't mean it like that.
Corey, don't leave.
I just don't want to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. See, you always don't want to do it.
I would love to talk to you privately. That is what happened.
See, because the private conversations is where you can lie.
Yes, that is such a good line too. Felicia delivers on
So
every front.
Good. She is
so
so
right.
fucking real. It's ridiculous. Oh my god, I love her.
Yeah,
I'm so happy she stayed.
I
Like,
am angry that America was doing such a good job at lying about that Corey came in and just ruined it with his energy. Like,
he really did.
You know
Like,
what I
he
would have
should-
said? What she should have said as America, or if you're America, you'd be like, you know what? You know we can talk about lying in this game. How about whenever you nominated Cam and Jag, and then you said you didn't want Cameron out?
yeah, Felicia really won this argument, and is still in the house. So win-win, I think, for Felicia.
I agree.
Good effort by America for trying and for. Thank you, America, for lying.
For trying. No, she on her own. Like, if Corey would have manned up,
Okay.
and
well,
actually participated, you have a damn debate thing, whatever. I don't know what he is, like debate champion or some crap.
this is Corey's time to shine.
Like, help out your girl.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It seems to
America,
like,
if they would have combined together, they could have won.
I think if you directly compare how Corey reacted to Jared's situation, knowing that he was the one that was telling the truth, and compare this situation, because that's what Felicia should have brought up, is like, oh, because I think Felicia's wrong point was that Corey never wants to get into it or whatever she said, which is wrong because he definitely did get into it with Jared not that long ago. But I think where she could have taken that was you're quiet because you know you're lying, but when you know you're telling the truth, like you did with Jared, is when you speak up. So why are you acting different now? I think that's where she could have taken that. And it would have been very, very valid. Then again, Felicia wasn't really there for the entire Jared argument, so she didn't. I mean, she may not have the context to really say all of that. But I think that's a good tell by Corey that he is so in the wrong, where he's so willing to argue with someone when he knows he's telling the truth. But now that he is the one being confronted, it turns into a shield because he knows he's trying to BS everyone, which is a shame because he's a persuasive speaker. He's a debate champion. He's all these things. He is. So that was upsetting to see that America had to be the one to lie and lie really well.
What are you talking about? America lies really well all the time.
I hate you.
I like how we can hear crickets in Nick's.
Not the crickets.
Let me see if I have any more. I don't really think I got anything else from tonight's episode other than what we've already seen from tonight's episode.
What? No way.
I know. But is there anyone that we haven't really kind of gone into? I feel like we've talked about mostly everybody at this point. This is much easier now that we have 9 people and not having to go through a whole slew of people. Thankfully, we didn't have to talk about a week with 2 fake house guests last week. So I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we just kind of went over it in Zach's rant earlier.
One thing I did want to say, what the hell were those zombie costumes? Those really emo cut up drag costumes? Like,
yeah, that was pretty bad. It was I mean, what do you call that? It looked like they just did a normal like toilet paper mummy outfit and then spray painted it like green and black.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's kind of what it seemed like to me.
They went to oh my god, what are those Spirit Halloween?
Oh,
they were like, this is in the discount section. We're gonna
go. Yeah, very accurate. But I do think that we should shift the rest of this podcast. If we think that we've covered most of what we wanted to, I think we should shift this to very quickly going over some final 2 scenarios now that we have a jury in place. This could be a fun little game to play.
Yes.
Of who right now?
Yeah. Who's playing the best game? Matt.
Well, we were gonna get there.
Okay.
I want to organize.
Jump in.
Yeah, I want to organize this as much as possible, though. So I don't know whether to like pull up a fake brand steal just to get everybody's faces in order, or what to do, because I want to make sure that we kind of remember all of these things, or at least get all of these scenarios of a final 2. So
yeah, you could do a brand. Just like open it up and like so you can move the cast around or something.
Can I do a interactive template?
Yeah.
Okay.
And adjust the cast that way it's only like
I'll show everyone what I'm doing. That's going to make it slightly more interesting. Skip ahead to when we actually start this, I should say. All right. So here's brand steal. So what do I need to do?
I would adjust the size.
Okay. Use 9 house guys.
9. And then
we already have Serene.
There you go. Hit
edit
on
cast.
on the top.
Oh, yes.
I feel like I'm walking you through like an IT thing. And then go to, I think it's custom edit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this. So we already have Suri in there. So we'll do
America.
Sorry, I saw Cameron first.
Ew.
He was
America.
right there. I will do America. There's America. Now Corey.
Cameron. Oh, wait. Cameron's already on there. Felicia.
I haven't done a brand steal in so long.
Jag.
Thank you. Jag.
Matt. Bowie Jane.
That's right.
And Blue.
The HOH.
You can leave Tommy on there.
I can leave Tommy. Thank you.
No thanks.
Who would have been a better winner, him or Jackson Mickey?
Nicole Anthony, and I stand by that. So,
right.
Holly.
Also yes.
Now what? Now what do we do?
I mean, we're here.
Do we just talk about it from here?
Submit. You can hit submit. There.
All right. Who should we
Zoom?
go over first?
Maybe zoom in.
Yeah, I was gonna crop down just a little bit. Is that
Okay,
better?
so let's do it like America Blue, then Bowie, then Cameron. Or
Okay.
we could even just go down the line, like America Blue, Blue Bowie, Bowie Cameron. I don't know.
We could start out that way. Yeah.
America Blue.
So we have
I think-
America in blue, which means we have the rest of this house guest, all of these other house guests voting. So
I think America would win.
okay. So
Me too.
America gets
America
Corey.
gets Corey. And probably Cameron.
yeah. Does she
Matt.
get Sari though?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. You don't think Sari values the Jared connection there with Blue?
A little bit.
Well, he's still like, she was still like, don't forget about that situation you have back home. About whenever
Oh.
she was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we kind of agreed that America would win this. I think she would have. Yeah. I mean, is it a sweep? Do we think a vote for Blue comes from anybody in this group?
Maybe Bowie Jane.
Maybe Bowie Jane. Maybe Sari.
Yeah.
Maybe Jag.
Yeah, that's true. They were close from the beginning. They're still.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
close.
Jag. Yeah.
Jag's definitely closer to Blue than America. It's just a matter of. I think that would be closer to borderline than we think, though. So Blue maybe gets 2 votes
Yeah.
at best. So America wins 5-2. Okay. So America's doing good there. Let's keep going down the line. We have Bowie Jane and Cameron, which would be a very interesting final 2 because you have,
Good
assuming
God.
right now, if Bowie
Someone
they
who
say-
got evicted and someone who's never been on the block.
Yes. This is crazy. So at least Bowie Jane has won a competition. Assuming that Bowie Jane doesn't do anything else in the game, do we still see her beating? Do we see any chance of her beating Cameron? Because I think Bowie Jane is one of those people who could lose to Cameron, or Bowie Jane is one of those scenarios where we see someone win in a bitter jury.
I think Cameron wins.
Cameron wins. So let's go through the line. America, who's she voting for between Bowie Jane and Cameron?
Cameron.
Bowie Jane.
I think she votes Cameron.
Do you not realize how Cameron makes her feel?
Yeah, but like she's not, I don't know. I don't think that matters.
It makes her feel uncomfortable though, and she's talked about it with multiple people.
Yeah. It would be a tough vote for her. I think
that she would vote for Bowie Jane.
that mixed with the fact that Cameron's been evicted, and depending on how Bowie Jane would present her case, which I don't think would be great, I think it might be a toss-up because she really doesn't enjoy Cameron. But it would be hard if Cameron won his way to the end to not vote for him. It would only be a bitter jury scenario that I think he doesn't win over Bowie Jane. I think having Bowie Jane next to him is one of those scenarios where even an evicted house guest could win, assuming Bowie Jane does nothing until the end of the game.
I just
Right,
think
well,
I just think America values more of a social game than a comp game.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, but like, does Bowie Jane have a social game? No,
Yeah, we don't. I don't even
She's
say
not. She's not being discussed about being put on the block. You have to have some social
that
game in
doesn't-
order
because
for
she
that to
doesn't.
happen.
Because she does. She's not that. Because she genuinely does not know what's going on. That's
Does
different.
Right.
she? Or
me, that's
people,
not a
people,
social
or
game.
people see her, or people see her as a number and don't want her gone.
no, she's a non-factor. That's why.
Obviously, she's a factor. She hasn't been put on the block yet.
Yeah, because it's a waste of an HOH.
Is it a waste of an HOH, or is it just that she's positioned herself so good that people
She's
that are
done
in
nothing to
HOH
position
positions?
herself.
Bowie Jane has never used the word positions when it comes to Big Brother, and I guarantee you that. She has no clue what is going on. She's not there because she has a good social game.
She's gonna
there
find
'cause
out
no
this
one
week
wants
what's
to
going
waste
on,
an
though.
HOH
Yeah,
on
we'll
her.
watch. She'll be like, "This has been my plan." Or oh, gosh,
We finally get a slog of like 30 DR sessions from the past 60 days where she outlines her entire plan for this game. She's not even Australian. She reveals that too.
She says she stops making her accent.
She
She's like, guys, I have a secret, and she's just like starts talking like an American.
she takes off the mask. It's Derek X. Okay, so this is a toss-up. You have America. We clearly don't know who she would vote
America is gonna vote for Bowie Jane.
for. Okay, you think she's gonna vote for Bowie? I think she would vote for Cameron.
I think she votes Cameron.
Okay, who does Blue vote for?
Cameron.
Blue
No.
votes for Cameron.
Yes. Yeah, they're good. They're close enough. She would definitely do that. Sari, probably also Cameron.
Votes for Cameron.
Yeah.
Corey would vote for Cameron.
For Bowie.
You think so?
I do not think so.
If
No, just
Cameron
kidding.
won his
I
way.
no. I think he votes for. I think he vote. I don't know. Maybe America would convince him to vote for Bowie Jane.
If America wants to vote for Bowie,
That's the
I'm
thing,
telling you
we have
that she would.
We have to be consistent because America and Corey are going to vote for the same person. So, and probably Jag and Matt if they're both in jury as well. So we have to be aware of that as well. So pretty much what we say.
America and Corey are voting for Bowie Jane.
So you think America and Corey are voting for Bowie Jane? So that right now, if that's the case, we have 2 votes for Bowie Jane and 2 votes for Cameron going in order of this list. So now we have Felicia, Jag, and Matt. Jag and
Felicia's
Matt,
voting for Bowie.
I see no scenario where Jag and Matt do not vote for Cameron to win the game.
yeah, I agree.
And I think Felicia is going to vote for Bowie.
And Felicia would vote for Bowie, yes. So in this scenario, Cameron would win 4-3 against Bowie Jane.
Asterisk, because I don't know if I don't know if maybe Suri wouldn't vote for Cameron.
There's no way. You think Sari is gonna be like, Bowie fucking Jane should win this season?
I mean, the kind of tact and like you that Cameron displays in himself, I could see him being so heartless and like disrespecting Suri in some sort of sense and like sending her home that she's like, yeah, I'm not voting for you. I'm voting for Bowie.
I don't know. I think him honoring that thing about protecting Suri when Jared got evicted, I think that goes a long way with Suri.
But what if he...
I feel like even if he got Suri evicted after that, I think she would still respect that he like honored a thing that Jared told him about, and she would remember that. Whereas I don't know if, I mean, unless Bowie has some magical tie into Suri in the next 5 weeks, I really do think she would see Cameron as the better player and vote for him.
Okay.
So disagreement on that final 2, but me and Nick say Cameron would win. Nick, you say Bowie Jane would win. We'll see if that works out in the end. Okay.
Let's just hope that doesn't happen though. So let's not find out.
Suri and Corey.
Yeah. I guess we are doing kind of a weird combo here, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Suri and Corey. I think this would be a really cool final 2. First off,
America votes for Corey.
We have America voting for Corey. We probably have Blue voting for Suri.
Bowie would vote for Corey.
Corey. And then we have Cameron would for Corey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Felicia for Suri, I imagine. So that is 2. So 3 votes for Suri, 2 votes for Corey, or 3 votes for Corey, 2 votes for Suri. Yeah, 3 votes
for Corey.
3 votes for Corey, 2 votes for Suri. So it comes down to Matt and Jag. That's a tough decision right there, especially for Matt. So this really lies on Matt. Who does Matt value more? Or who does... Oh my God. If Matt voted right now between Suri and Corey to win Big Brother 25, who does he pick?
Suri.
Corey.
I think he picks Suri.
I could see him being like, no, you've already won too much. It's time for a new, like...
I don't know, man. I think
don't think
Suri
so.
could outline everything that she has done, like she did socially in pre-jury. I think that alone was
Let's
so
put it
far.
this way.
Okay.
Cerie's in the final two. You really think production ain't paying these people to vote for her to win?
We will give you
Like, let's be
$50,000
real.
each if you vote for Suri.
We'll give you $750,000.
Let's be real.
I do think, yeah, if I had to not even go through these individual votes, if I just had to pick 50-50 chance who I think would win, I would say definitely, I think Suri is the better bet on that.
I think it'd be a 4-3 if Suri won.
Okay. So the three would be America, Bowie, and Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay. Caitlin thinks that Suri would win 7-0 against Corey, which
Y'all are underestimating like his. We literally had a pageant queen win last year.
What does that have to do with?
She was great at
This.
giving speeches. Corey can be great at giving speeches too.
Well, he's not good at arguing apparently.
well, he's good
so-
at persuading, so maybe that's different to him.
Yeah,
yeah,
Final
different.
2 cents.
in private.
But this is by far so far is my favorite final two scenario because I think Corey being the youngest in the house and a debate champion going against a all-time great competitor in just competitions itself, Suri, in a final two scenario with this game that we know Suri has played up to this point. I think that would be
Now
really
I think-
fascinating.
Okay, now that you're saying this, I think that Jag votes for Corey just because of the underdog story.
I think Suri in her own way has an underdog story.
Yeah,
Her
if
son
Cere's in
tried
the
to
final two,
dismantle
that's
her
an underdog.
game. She had to play 2
Yeah.
games this entire game until last week.
Does she reveal that in her
No.
final?
Absolutely not, because then that gives people just at least the chance to think that she had an advantage of sorts.
Or maybe Corey knows and brings it out.
Oh, what a bombshell to drop.
Or what if Blue reveals it whenever she goes jury?
Oh, I didn't. That's another scenario that we haven't thought about yet. Blue will know until the end of this game that they are related, and so if she reveals it,
And she doesn't think it's gonna be a big deal.
yeah. Shy Boy has made another point. He may come off cocky, which we've seen this week already.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if Corey could ever become cocky going against Serena final two, though, is the thing. With as much love as he has for Suri, and
I can see him pulling. I can see him pulling a what's it called? Pulling a Ian Terry.
maybe. I mean, it'd be tough. It'd be really tough. I mean, Dan actually did have an advantage, which was that he got through the first 4 weeks of the game without ever being at risk because he wasn't playing the game. So, yeah, I think Corey at this point could become have as many moves as Ian did, or enough like bullet points. I don't think it would be like the full I wrote my outline for the season on a piece of paper type of speech that he's going to give. But I think he put up a good fight. I really love this final two. I really kind of hope that happens because I just want to see how they would go against each other.
Felicia
Okay.
and Jack.
Yeah, so I say Suri wins that, but we'll go to Felicia and Jag now. Felicia and Jag would be. Oh god,
Felicia wins.
I think
wins.
Felicia wins. Yeah,
Jag gets like
Jag got evicted already. Felicia escapes the block
Jag.
twice
Jag
narrowly.
gets like Cameron and Matt's vote, but I feel
Yeah,
like
that's it.
maybe Bowie Jane.
Mm-mm.
Maybe, but yeah,
I
Jag.
think- Yeah,
It's going to be close. I think it would be closer than we think, but I do think Felicia can pull that out.
I think she has Blue's vote and America's and Corey's and Suri's.
Me too.
I could see that. Yeah, Jag getting evicted alone, I think being next to most people in the final two would not serve him well. So, and also it's different from Cameron because Jag's not coming back and winning all of these competitions. If he were to get back to a final two, it was just he got evicted unanimously and then just kind of he did come back, but he didn't win a competition to come back. He was gifted a power to come back by Matt, and so I think in that case, Jag is going to lose against most people on this list. So Felicia, okay, cool. Jag and Matt wins 7-0. There's no question about it.
Nope.
Matt and Cameron. Matt wins 7-0.
Let's just put it this way. I think Matt beats everybody across the board except like
Suri.
maybe Suri. Yeah.
But he's fooled Suri enough to where he could convince a jury to vote for him against her. Too.
He can. Totally.
We've seen time and time again where he has kept information from her and she has no idea. Whereas other people, I feel like she clocks it pretty easily. With him, she just sees him as so innocent, and he is in a lot of ways, but he's also a great game player. And I think a lot of people have underestimated that. I don't think they should anymore now that we're in the jury phase. But if he were to get to a final two, yeah, I think he nearly sweeps everybody except for Suri, where he would still win.
Maybe not Corey.
Even against Corey, I think he.
I think Corey still. I think.
Well, yeah, Corey would get America's vote, obviously, but.
Well, I think they could still win like 4-3, maybe.
I don't see it. I see Matt really just taking it, but I think that I would love to see that final two as well, though. Well, love it. I would like it. I probably wouldn't love it.
Let's see, Cameron and Jag. Cameron wins.
Hey, where are we going? Where's the order that you're going now?
What order are y'all going?
I was just gonna keep going to the next two over. So the next one would be
Okay, let's do next one.
Next one would be wait. We did Felicia and Jag. Oh, we did Jag and Matt. I should have done Matt in America. That would have made more sense. So we'll go Matt in America now, and then we'll just do that order. We'll just go back to the very beginning.
Matt wins.
Matt wins against America. 6-1, we think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Blue.
Maybe 6-2.
5-2. Who's the second vote?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe just someone random. All right, Blue and Bowie.
Oh my god.
Is this the actual nightmare scenario? Like I don't
know. At least this would feel like that means one of them had to win a competition to get to the end. So
that is very true.
I think this is entirely dependent on who wins the most competitions up until the end.
I literally don't have an answer for you.
My guess would be Blue. That would just be my guess, just because
I've actually
No. America votes for Bowie.
Okay.
Cameron votes for Bowie.
Yeah. I mean, Cameron has said to Bowie, "You're my person," so I feel like that goes a long way with the final two votes.
Suri votes for
Blue.
Maybe. I don't know. Corey votes for Bowie. Felicia votes for...
She votes for Blue.
Yeah. Maybe.
And then Jag and Matt.
They vote for Blue.
So
4-3.
So Blue wins 4-3 in that scenario. Yeah, I think this would be another close one. Like, this is one of those where you're like, is this close, or is this going to also be a 7-0 either way? That's what makes this so confusing. When I can't pinpoint how either of them has truly played this game so far, I don't even know how to rationalize a guess. But yeah, I think Blue would narrowly take it unless Bowie just put up a really good underdog speech.
Or Bowie
like
takes
Zack
out
you was talking about earlier.
Or Bowie takes out like Matt or
yeah, if Bowie took out a big player. I mean, if either of them just made one like big move and took out a strong competitor and had that on the resume, I think that's who wins. It's going to be close though. And yeah, so I don't mind that. Blue wins 4-3 in that scenario. Lock it down.
Who's next?
God.
Next we have
Cameron Suri.
Cameron and Suri, which I think Suri wins. Yeah. I feel good about that. Yeah. Matt and Jag would probably go Suri. I mean, unless this fugitives thing is more real to them than I think it is, which it's not. So we go Suri, Felicia goes Suri, Corey and America go Suri. Yeah, done deal. Suri wins in that scenario.
Yeah.
Corey and Felicia.
Yeah, Corey and Felicia. This would get pretty dicey, I think. More dicey than people would think. If this took place right now, I think it would still be up in the air.
I think Corey wins.
Yeah, I think Corey wins narrowly. I think Felicia gets Suri and Blue.
And then everyone else votes for Corey.
Yeah, so it would be 5-2. I think, yeah. That would be another good final two, though, right now. I don't know if 5 weeks down the line, I don't think it would be that fun. But right now, just them going after each other already would be an interesting battle. But, okay, so Corey wins against Felicia. Felicia and Jag. Not a very interesting final two to me, but I think Felicia also beats Jag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America and Jag.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, wait. Matt and Blue is next, right?
Technically, it would be Matt in America. America would at least have Corey. I don't think she gets anyone else. So 6-1, that scenario.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Oh, we did? Are we back around?
Yeah, so Matt goes to Blue.
Okay, so Matt goes to Blue. Matt and Blue. Matt still wins 7-0, I imagine.
Yeah.
But what about Suri?
Suri would still vote for Matt. I don't think she likes Blue. I don't think she likes her enough to think that she is deserves $750,000 over Matt, who she also really likes.
Oh my God, Natalie. Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. Like, oh my gosh, Suri, kitty kitty purr.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be her one-liner as she's putting the key into the slot? Yeah, that's what I thought too.
My vote is locked in 150%.
Oh God.
100.
Barrett doesn't get the reference.
I don't. I'll laugh anyway, though. So maybe we really got to start jumping around with these scenarios. I haven't even logged what we've already done. So,
Bowie and Felicia.
Bowie and Felicia. Okay. Bowie and Felicia. We have Felicia winning. I don't think that's a hard one.
No.
Corey and Blue.
Corey and Blue. Right now, we would have Corey win.
Mm-hmm.
Corey and Cam.
Corey and Cam. I like this. I think Corey still wins.
That's a good
though.
one, actually.
Corey wins.
Corey wins. Just I think the Cameron eviction and what Corey's done, at least moves wise, can pull him the victory. Assuming if he got to a final two, he would have done a lot more to get there. It's hard to predict. I think it's much easier to say at this point in the game who would win, because it's hard for me, because I feel bad because when it's like Bowie Jane and Cameron in a final two, I'm like, well, Cameron won his way to the end and Bowie Jane clearly didn't win her way to the end, where that could totally be the opposite. I'm just going off of how they've played the game so far. It could easily be a scenario where, I mean, who knows? Bowie Jane could just be in jury and win every competition she plays in. And then she has to fight her way to the end, and then she's the competition beast at the end of the day. But going off of what we've seen so far is really what I'm basing this off of. So I'm sorry, future Bowie Jane and future Blue and future everyone else that I've said hasn't won anything. If you end up winning everything, then I will eat my own words. And Nick was in love with Monty at the beginning of last season.
Why is this being brought up again?
So between Cameron and Corey, we think that Corey will win. Felicia and Bowie, Felicia will win. Cameron and Jag, our nightmare scenario. Do we think
Corey.
Cameron wins?
Cameron and Jag, Cameron wins, yeah.
Okay.
Corey and Jag, Corey wins.
Caitlin, have we done America and Blue? Yes, I think that was our very first one. We said America. See, I can't even remember what we said like 5 minutes ago, but we said America.
So can Blue beat anybody?
Blue could beat Bowie Jane. Blue could.
No, she can't.
I think she could beat Bowie Jane. I think she could beat Jag.
No, I don't think she could beat
Maybe
Jag.
Cameron?
No, well, wait, Blue and Jag. I think Blue has America's vote.
Now that I think about this, yeah.
I think Corey has Corey is Blue vote. Suri is a Blue vote. Felicia is a Blue vote. Bowie is a Blue. And then Cameron and Matt vote for Jag.
Yikes. Cameron and Matt vote for Jag, yeah. I
Wow.
I could see Corey in America voting for Jag too, though, is the thing. I think he could win by getting
Corey
both.
literally talks about how Jag is a terrible game player. In
But-
America too.
I know, but he doesn't like Blue very much at all. I don't know if he would respect. I don't know if that means enough to respect Blue's game over Jag, though.
Yeah, that's true. But would you respect a terrible game or a meh game?
I would respect a terrible game of a person I liked more than a mad game of a person I didn't like. If it was like a really good game of a person I didn't like, that would be different. But I would be salty at that point. If it was enough to be like, Blue didn't really play that great of a game, that's enough for me to be salty tonight.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Jag in America?
Jag in America, America wins. I don't think that's too
Yeah.
hard for her. American Suri, have we gone over that one yet?
No.
I think that's a good one.
Blue votes for Suri. Corey votes for America.
Yeah.
Bowie votes for America.
So 2 votes America, 1 vote Suri. Cameron, America. Crush stands.
Yeah.
So 3 against 1 right now. So Felicia, Suri, I imagine.
Yeah.
So 3-2, and then Jag. It comes down to Jag and Matt in this one. Who vote
I
for
feel like they
America?
vote
I
Suri.
imagine. Or Suri? You think so?
I think Suri.
That might actually be a more split decision with the.
I think Jag would vote. I think
yeah.
Jag would vote for America.
That's what threw me off. Because I was thinking Jag would vote for America, Matt would vote for Suri. Yeah, we've stuck with
4-3.
Matt voting for Suri this entire time when it's up. So, this might be the only one where Matt and Jag might be somewhat split, but I think Jag could lean Suri. So I would say Suri.
Yeah, me too.
But I think America is really appealing as a final 2 option, and I think she can make a case. So I think that's a tough one, but I think Suri would pull that one out too.
I think Jag could vote for America and America win 4-3.
I like this one. I think it could go either way.
And I honestly wouldn't be mad if America beats Suri. Like, if anyone's gonna beat Suri, if it's America, I'll be okay with that. So
Stryboy says Suri. Okay. I could see this one easily going either way, but I don't see this being a sweep in either direction. Well, duh. Even minus Corey, I don't see it being a sweep in either direction.
Suri and Blue.
Are we being serious?
Yeah.
I don't think Suri gets any. I don't think Blue gets any.
Suri doesn't get any vote.
I
What did
think
you
Blue,
say?
yeah, Blue sweeps. What are you talking about?
please.
Suri and Felicia.
Suri, yeah, Suri wins that one too. We've got,
Suri and Matt.
yeah, that would be a fun one.
Suri and Matt would be a real fun one, actually.
America votes for
Matt. What? Who does America vote for here? I'd say Matt. I think America and Corey go Matt.
I think America and Corey votes Suri.
Okay, we'll say that if they did that, and then Suri also has Felicia, I imagine, and Blue.
And
So that's enough
Shonda
for her.
wins.
So it really
She
relies
won.
on who America and Corey vote for in this scenario, which I genuinely think they could pick Matt. I would, if I had to place my bet on who they pick, it should be Matt.
I think
the thing that combats this,
that
though, Corey's such a big Suri fan.
Yeah.
He knows she's the best to never win, but he also knows that she just won a different game that is not Survivor.
But he also knows that I think her getting to the end alone just solidifies the fact that she deserves it. She outplayed all of them if she gets to the end.
Yes, but Matt
No but. She has played over 100 days of Survivor and Traitors alone. She has that big of a target on her back. She's made it to the jury all but one time. And the last time that she even played Survivor, she didn't get voted out. She had to get put out on a technicality.
I think if it's a scenario where Matt picks Suri to go to the final 2, that would be a good case, because that would be a good point for her to say, even Matt chose me to come here, even though I should have been a target. I've played, all of these days, and I've done all this stuff. I think that in that case, yeah, I think she definitely would win. But I don't know. I think Matt's a tough person to go against, especially if he wins a lot of those competitions towards the end. Obviously, we're basing this off of right now, which I know Shy Boy said, I think it depends on the end game and their speeches. Yeah, clearly that's for all of them. All of them could totally flub a speech and lose a vote.
Also, I think that Taylor set a new narrative. Comp wins don't matter.
No, I mean, they shouldn't. I don't think they should be the only basis, or else we would have, I think, a lot of boring winners.
This is also on president. I mean, jury speeches in Big Brother, I honestly think they're a formality sometimes, depending on which season, but most of the times they're formality because a lot of people already have their votes made up.
Yeah.
And I would be interested to see how Cherie fares in that. Because she's never made it to a jury.
Yeah. I think Matt will have a lot of people going. I mean, he'll have he'll have Jag and Cameron really going to bat for him in that jury. And I don't know, it's going to be tough. Matt is such a likable guy in this game for all of those house guests and has just completely misted them with how smart he actually is in this game and is a great competitor. And he's even misted Suri at times, which is amazing to watch. But I do think there's such a great argument for Suri too. I agree with you, Zach. Yeah, this would be a really interesting one. I don't know. I'd like, this is probably my favorite final two scenario. A close second is Suri and Corey. But yeah, we haven't talked.
Yeah.
Have we talked about America and Corey yet? I know we need to finalize this. I say
Corey
Matt wins against Suri. You say Suri wins against Matt.
Suri wins against Matt.
Okay, Nick, what do you say?
Wait, what did you say, Nick?
I said Suri wins against Matt. Is my
okay, good.
I think both of them right now equally have a great speech to win the game, though.
All right.
Yeah,
so
those are the top two competitors, or the top two winner contenders, in my opinion.
You heard
America,
it here first. Barrett is not a Suri fan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. America and Corey.
Corey wins.
I think.
Yeah, Corey.
I think that could be a tough contest for Corey, but I mean, America would have to pull out all the stops because, yes, people do think that she is riding the coattails of Corey because she hasn't really won anything yet. So America's just going to have to win something and make a move herself. And I think she is on equal ground with Corey, especially with. I think she's been slightly less shady than Corey at the time, and she also was the most vocal one to really get this vote, the vote flip to get Izzy out of the house. I think that was a really great week for her. That set a new precedent in the game that I think that she could bring up right now. Yeah, okay, I can see Corey winning right now too, with just the games they've both played to this point. I'm getting exhausted with these scenarios, so I hope we've covered the important ones.
Yeah,
I feel like we did.
At least the ones I like. Matt and Corey. Matt wins. We pretty much said Matt wins against everyone but Suri. We're seeing Suri wins against pretty much everyone in general.
Corey.
Did we say Corey would win?
I think it was close.
Yeah. No, I think we said Suri would still win that one.
Y'all did.
Oh, you didn't. Wow, we're really not agreeing on much, Zach, are we?
Zach just likes to be different and then say when he's right.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and end it right there. I really do think that we covered a lot of the ones that we like. And hopefully one of those that we covered is actually going to be the actual final two. Well, maybe not some of them, but maybe if there's any positive, if one of those nightmare scenarios happens, is that we'll have a prediction. So, yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. I'm done talking about Big Brother 25 for the week. Are y'all done talking about Big Brother 25 for the week?
You know who's not going to be one of those final two scenarios? Jared.
Yep. A lot of people thought that he was going to be in a final two scenario about a month ago.
They did. They sure did.
I was right.
Yep, you love telling us that, don't you?
No.
He really does love telling us that, everyone. I'm going to pull up islands in the stream if I have no contentions to that.
Okay, Cameron.
Okay, then.
Shots fired. Awkward way to start that song. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight for the last 2 hours and 9 minutes. We really appreciate it. Everyone in chat, you are wonderful as always. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, that comment section is always open after this video if you didn't catch us live. You can also catch us audio only if you don't like looking at our faces. We are on every podcast platform out there. If you want to go listen to us go over every scenario possible for the final 2 in each individual vote. All of that content is yours now. Congratulations. And you can follow all of us on Twitter. I am at Spicy Barrett. Zach is at the Zach Perez. Nick is at the Nick City. All of those links are in the description below. Be sure to like this video. That helps us out so much. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to catch us next time. If you forget our channel name, we'll just be right there for you. And we'll pop up next week when we're live again. And Nick won't be here. So, yeah. We all are all pretty upset about it. Everyone was talking about it on Twitter. Nick is really bad.
We'll just vote to evict him.
It's okay. Yeah. I have a power where you can evict me for 3 weeks.
Okay, Paul.
Oh my god. The ultimate friendship power?
I have it.
I thought it was a myth. Yet you found it.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. We'll be back next week, same time as this week, I think. I forgot to look at the times that all of these episodes are next week. I forgot to see if it was on at 8 Central or 7 Central. Next week's.
You know what else is scary? Our schedule.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do to end this podcast now. Thank you, Zach. So yeah, thank you, everyone. We will be here next week minus Nick to go over the next live eviction. We'll see if it's just me and Zach or if we can grab someone else. Who knows? Either way, come join us for that. And yeah, have a great week. We will see you next time. Zach, I want you to finish out this podcast by setting us up for next week. In your Big Brother voice. Please advertise next week's podcast for everyone that wants to come join.
Find out who Bowie decides to put down under on the block, and then who wins the veto, and who gets evicted live next Thursday. You'll see us next week on Big Brother's Podcast, Our Reality.
Saved it. Now, say the other thing you said.
Perception is reality. Our reality.
Bye, everyone.